WSIC News.
Good morning, everyone. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam. It is such a pleasure to be with you this morning on my first Town Talk on WSIC Radio from the new studios of WSIC Radio right here in my hometown of Cornelius, North Carolina. Welcome, folks. We're glad to have you today. And this will be a weekly show that I will be providing for all the citizens of the area. It's a pleasure to do that. I love communicating with our citizens and communicating with our folks. I will welcome your questions, and you can dial me up at area 844 studio STUDIO -4. So that again is 844 studio -4. Welcome your phone calls today. But let me tell you a little bit about myself since this is my first show. Hopefully the first show of many, if these guys will keep me around for a while. But I'm a native of Cornelius, and I like to call myself a rare native because there's not many of us left, as you could imagine. We've got a lot of new citizens here in Cornelius that I have totally enjoyed getting to know, their fresh ideas, their fresh involvement in our town. It's been a great pleasure, and that's one of the best parts of my job, getting to know these great people. But I am a native, and I've lived here all my life. I was born and raised back in the 50s, if you will, went to Cornelius Elementary School and later on to Alexander Junior High School and graduated from North Mecklenburg High School prior to going on to Catawba College up in Salisbury. So I'm about as local as you can get. I do have my family name on a couple streets around. If some of you get out in our town and ride around and look at the scenery, hopefully you'll see that. And if you go back far enough, I'm related to all of them. That's for sure. But on a personal note, I've lived on both sides of the interstate, if you will. I've lived on the east side, the famous east side. It's growing like a weed now and developing wonderfully over there, which has been infused, if you will, by the Kane Center for the Arts, one of my favorite projects that I've worked very hard on to make happen here in our beautiful town. And I currently live on the west side on Lake Norman, on beautiful Lake Norman, which is one of our greatest amenities here in our town. Actually, I'm one of those that remembers when Lake Norman wasn't even here, and I watched it fill up when I was a very, very small little guy, and my dad was very interested in it because he helped buy up the property that is now the beautiful Lake Norman. So I give him a lot of credit, and you could not get him lost on that lake, that's for sure. So I miss his expertise and his guidance as it relates to driving on the lake. But anyway, this town was a small little country town of about 1,500 people or less when I was growing up, and it's now grown into a town of in and around 33,000, and still growing some, not at the pace that we once did, but it's still growing some. And we talk a lot about growth in our town, and we'll be doing a lot of that conversation right here on this show. So I look forward to doing that and answering your questions, and certainly, presenting some facts as it relates to the growth factors here in our community. So that's kind of where I come from. As far as how what I do as a profession, I'm a banker. I've been a banker in this community for over 50 years now. I'm currently with United Bank up in Mooresville, but we serve the entire Lake Norman community. In addition to that, I just happen to be a musician, and I've served as organist over at Mount Zion United Methodist Church for over 50 years as well. So I've been doing what I do quite a while. I have served this community as an elected official for many years now. I'm hitting my 10-year mark. I started out as a commissioner. I became mayor pro tem my first 2 terms in office. And then after 2 terms in office, I decided I would run for mayor. So I run for mayor 3 times and was elected. And it was a pleasure to serve this community for sure. I am running again in the fall, so I just want everybody to know that, and certainly have enjoyed my job and really love what I do for my hometown. That truly makes a difference to me. More great things coming in our town, which I'm very excited about. First and top of my list is our transportation projects. And I'm not going to get into the weeds of those because I think that we can get some of the experts in the room here with our town staff to make you aware of what's coming your way. But the things that are approved and funded will absolutely transform this town as it relates to transportation. I'll give you one really cool example, I think, and that's West Catawba Avenue. Once we get into the widening and the construction of that, you will be amazed at how the impact of that will make a difference in your day-to-day activities. It will take the levels of the levels that we can carry and handle on West Catawba Avenue from the current 20,000 cars a day up to almost 50,000 cars a day. So we more than double the capacity of West Catawba. That's just one example, but there are examples after example of these 13 projects that I've worked very hard to get approved. 7 of them are funding. They're beginning. West Catawba, the right-of-way is almost finished being purchased, and after that, we will go into the utility movement, because you got to do something with those utilities. Nobody wants to be without power or cable, do they? So we will not let that happen, but that has to move through the process, and we're sort of at the mercy of the utilities. But my hope is we could begin this journey for widening West Catawba next year. Hopefully late in the year, maybe as late as early 25, but it's underway and it's moving forward, and that's wonderful news. But so are other projects. There are a couple other projects that will beat West Catawba, including the Torrance Chapel intersection, the Highway 21 and Catawba Avenue intersection, the Pot Street roundabout, which is coming out at the YMCA, and several more that will be underway. North Cross Extension is another good one that will begin in 24, which will connect Westmoreland Road. And yes, I said Westmoreland Road. That's the way the Westmorelans pronounce their name. So it is not Westmoreland, it is Westmoreland. I have to correct a lot of folks at Town Hall on that one, but it comes from my native status here in the town of Cornelius. So with that, we're excited about our future. We want to have great development in our town. We want to have quality development in our town. We want to bring jobs into our town so people can work here where they live. You know, right now we have an alarming statistic as far as I'm concerned, and that is 85% of the people that live here don't work here. In other words, only 15% of the people that live in this town are able to work here, and mostly that's because they can't afford it. So we've got some challenges. We've got some things we'll work on, and you'll be hearing some of our endeavors to get that done. So I'm excited. More to come.
Serving you better than ever before. The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, camera, Burkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Burkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Birkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit birkdalevillage.com. Does your child enjoy doing arts and crafts? Come create a state symbol at Iredell County Public Library. The Summer Kids Camp will be hosting this program on Monday, July 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. Designed for children ages 6 to 11, bring them out to the Iredell County Public Library on North Trad Street on Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. No registration is required. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. 2023 is the year of the trail. Cornelius is challenging community members to visit all 9 greenways between now and the fall. Each trail has a station where you can check in to verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org or contact the town of Cornelius's Parks and Rec Department. The Huntersville Growers Market is open each Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have mostly sunny skies today with a high near 90 degrees. Tonight looks mostly cloudy with a low around 70. We'll have a slight chance of showers and maybe a thunderstorm for Friday with a high near 91. And Friday night looks mostly cloudy with a low around 70. Partly sunny for Saturday with a high near 90 degrees. And mostly cloudy Saturday night with a low around 70. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
From Taylorsville to Troutman and from Cornelius to Concord, join me, Todd Starnes, live right here on News Talk WSIC.
Fueling your conversations.
Established, reputable.
WSIC News Talk Now. Be a part of the conversation.
We can't fix America's debt by starving its people.
Have your say.
One shooting after another, and we're doing nothing to solve it?
This is WSIC News Talk Now.
Town Talk coming at you from the Cornelius studio of WSIC Radio. I'm Mayor Woody Washam, and it's such a pleasure to be here with you talking about all going on in my town, Cornelius, North Carolina. It's an exciting place to be these days. So we've talked about quite a few already in the show, and again, this show will occur with me every Thursday at 11 a.m. So top of the morning to everyone. I want to talk a little bit about some of the goings on in our town and some of the wonderful departments and staff that we have at the town of Cornelius. I'm so proud of this staff. It really doesn't get any better than our town of Cornelius staff, which is headed up by our wonderful town manager, Andrew Grant. Andrew's a great guy. He's one of the brightest people I know. He has his thumb on the pulse of what's going on in this town, and also he's one of these guys that's so conservative. He spends your tax money just like it's his own. So he's very conservative about our spending and makes our budget work out. We've got around a $31 million budget here in the town of Cornelius. It was a difficult task, as we have just approved our budget, to get that in place and get moving forward for the year ahead. We go through this budget exercise, which the town manager actually heads up once a year. It actually starts in December, if not sooner, to plan for the following year. So we're doing budget stuff at least 6 or 7 months out of the 12 months of every year. It starts early. Our budgets have to be approved based on state statute. by the 30th of June. So we have to have that budget in place as we get into July 1st. That is state statute and it is required. So we have to do whatever is necessary to get that in place. In addition to that, Andrew Grant manages and is responsible for all of the employees that work for the town of Cornelius. And we've got in and around about 150 employees, which includes our public service employees. It includes folks that are part-time. We've got around that many FTEs working for the town of Cornelius, maybe a little bit less, but in and around that. So very, very proud of the job Andrew does in holding that all together, managing all those employees. And to do that, he's got the help of several department heads, which heads up our very important departments in different categories in our town. And I'll start with our planning department first. Our planning department has a new head. We have a new planning director in Cornelius, an individual by the name of Rox Burhams. Rox is a great guy. He's got lots on his resume, has wonderful experience, and he's fitting in nicely to the town of Cornelius. So if you have planning department needs, Rox is your guy, R-O-X. Just call over there and ask for Rox Burhams, and he can answer your questions. And if not him, one of our very capable staff members that's on the planning staff will certainly help you. We've got probably 6 or 7 folks on that staff. Now, the next one that certainly is very important to most citizens is Cornelius, the Parks and Recreation Department. We just changed the name of Parks and Rec a few months ago, probably 7 or 8 months ago, because the Kane Center for the Arts came to be, and we moved all of our cultural programs over to Kane Center for the Arts. So it used to be a park, P-A-R-C, to include culture, but that is now separate with the Kane Center for the Arts, which was incubated by the town of Cornelius and actually put in place after a major fundraising drive, which I was very fortunate to be given the opportunity to head up, and we pulled it off. This past January, Kane Center for the Arts opened with that $25 million raise in place and debt-free. I think that's very important. So this beautiful theater in our downtown center, if you haven't seen that theater or participated in any of the Kane Center programming, you really need to do that, because it will knock your socks off for sure. It's a beautiful facility that is making a difference. And the reason that the town is behind it, because it's become an economic development. It has spurred economic development in our downtown district, which truly, if you've ridden through there, needed some love. We've got buildings. We've had some buildings fall down, actually. So we're in the process of redefining our downtown. We'll be doing a new downtown study very soon. So more to come on that, but I'm very proud of Kane Center for the Arts. But that's back to Park and Rec. Park actually manages the many parks that are owned by the town of Cornelius in our town, our beautiful town. Yes, sir. I'm up for calls. Bring it on. Got a call coming in, folks. Feel free to call with questions. Yes, sir. This is Mayor Washam. What is your question?
Hey, Mayor Washam. My name is Mitchell Whitley. I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina, and my dad and I, we've been traveling the state to meet and interview every single mayor in North Carolina, doing a project called Mitchell's Mayors that we started a few years ago.
Yes, sir.
And and so I'm excited to schedule at some point to get to come meet you in your town to hear your story. But I heard you were on the radio today. Just wanted to call and ask a quick question for you. Was to learn, being a leader, it's really easy to let others take that reign. It's a lot easier to let others take those big roles. So I'm curious, in your lifetime, who was your biggest hero or inspiration to be a leader for positive change for those around you?
Well, that's an interesting question, and I do have an answer for you on that one. It goes back quite a few years. I'm a banker, as I noted earlier, and much of my banking career was in Iredell County, which is just to the north of us in Cornelius. and in the town of Mooresville, which is one of the fastest growing towns probably in the state of North Carolina. And the mayor that I worked with in doing a lot of the economic development in Mooresville was Mayor Joe Knox. Joe, in my opinion, always got it right. He had the relationships that made a difference to that community. And I've been asked many times, who would you like to emulate? And it's an easy answer to me. It would be Mayor Joe Knox. He's been gone a few years, but he served that town as mayor for 33 years. And you talk about making a difference. I don't plan to be here 33 years in Cornelius because I'm too old to serve that long. But anyway, I saw Joe bring so many wonderful things to that community. If I could have the kind of relationships he had with his citizens and his staff, I work hard at that. But I've got a good example to follow with Joe Knox. I hope that answered your question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does. Thank you very much
All
for
right.
sharing that. And like I said, I look forward to coming to meet you at some point soon in your town.
I look forward to meeting you. Just get on my schedule, and we will make it happen very soon. Thanks for calling today.
Yes, sir.
All right, moving along with our Parks and Rec description, we were talking about all the wonderful things going on in our Park and Rec department. We were talking about our beautiful parks that are throughout our town, the biggest parks being Bailey Road Park. We just finished a beautiful concert by the Charlotte Symphony and Fireworks back in late June, which was the official July 4th celebration for the town of Cornelius, and we had right at 10,000 people to turn out for that great celebration. And the fireworks were awesome. The symphony was awesome. I was so very happy to be a part of that. It was so impressive and got so much great feedback from so many citizens about that event. And it'll happen again next year. It's in the process of being scheduled, and I'll certainly let you know the date of that. But in addition to that, there's so much that goes on in our park out at Bailey Road. We have turf soccer fields, which are very nice. We have this band shell that I was noting a minute ago, which is where our Charlotte Symphony Orchestra performs. We have our Oktoberfest, actually we call it Lake Fest, festival out there, which will occur in October. And just so many wonderful things go on at Bailey Road Park. We see a lot of pickleball happening. We see a lot of tennis happening. We see a lot of ball games happening with our kids, and it's a wonderful place to be. It's one of our largest parks, and we're very proud of that. We hope to approve a new Bailey Road Park plan. We do have a new plan moving through the process, and we're trying to figure out now how to put that in place sooner than later. Main reason is being driven by pickleball and the popularity of pickleball. I've been talking to some of the leaders about pickleball for years and years, and it is now past time to do something. Working very closely with the Lake Norman Pickleball Association and the Lake Norman Tennis Association as well. So those conversations are going well, and we're going to put together a fantastic, wonderful plan to bring on more pickleball. We also have Torrance Chapel Park with many pickleball amenities going on out there. We've tried to beef that up there, and then there's Robbins Park, and I'm just hitting the highlights of our bigger parks. A great Robbins Park plan is coming about and will be in place, and I really, really look forward to telling our citizens more about that wonderful Robbins Park plan. Wonderful park and rec amenities, and I could talk about our parks and rec all day long. So proud of them.
Local news and weather now on the new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. News, talk, now.
I'm Mike Jackson. Jackson, WSIC News. A Statesville man remains jailed in lieu of a $1 million bond in connection with a shooting on Garfield Street. The Statesville Police Department announced the arrest of Craig Blackwell Jr., 30, of Statesville in a news release yesterday. He's charged with attempted murder, possession of a firearm by a felon, and discharging a firearm in the city limits in connection with a shooting at 245 Garfield Street on June 24th. And Duke Energy has announced it's reached an agreement to sell its commercial distributed generation business to an affiliate of ArcLight Capital Partners, LLC. A leading middle-market infrastructure investor for an enterprise value of $364 million, inclusive of non-controlling tax equity interests. Now, sports with Joe Bird.
Charlotte FC was back in action last night. Unfortunately, they couldn't grab a win as they played NYC FC to a 1-1 draw. Also, PGA Tour begins today from the John Deere Classic.
WSIC weather calls for a slight chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm this afternoon, otherwise partly sunny today with a high near 89. Mostly cloudy for tonight, the low around 71, then sun again tomorrow, the high near 90. Mike Jackson, WSIC News.
Hello, everyone. This is Joshua Dobie from North Main Financial Group. We're blessed at North Main Financial Group that most of our clients come to us by referral. When folks have a good experience with us, they share that good experience with their friends, family, and colleagues. In doing so, when we're sitting with folks, then we're looking at their financial plan and seeing if it aligns with their goals and their desires for what yet lies ahead, be it college, be it retirement, or be it estate planning. If that sounds of interest to you, we'd love to hear from you. Reach out to us at northmainfinancial.com.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now to learn more.
Call 844-TAX-LAWS. 844-TAX-LAWS. 844-TAX.
Tune in for short track racing news and race driver interviews on PRN's At the Track, Sunday evenings beginning at 7:30 here on 100.7 FM and 1400 AM. WSIC.
Eagle Rentals, making it easy for all your construction equipment rentals. They also have the generators, heaters, fans, painting equipment, floor equipment, pressure washing. They got it all over there, ready to help you with all of your jobs, making it easy. Eagle Rental also has those Husqvarna K1 Paste. Yes, the concrete saws, 93 volts. Get rid of all the fumes and all that stuff when you're working inside. Going electric at Eagle Rentals. Eagle Rentals in Troutman and in Statesville, making your work easy. Visit eaglerentals.com for more information. Go see them, eaglerentals.com.
Folks, you know Randy Marion sells vehicles the King of Price way, but did you know our service department? We service vehicles the King of Price way. We sell tires, we sell brakes, we sell batteries, we sell the maintenance. We help you keep your vehicle on the road safe, ready to drive. Whatever the season is, Randy Marion Service Departments have you covered. Come see us today because, folks, again, you know we sell the King of Price way and we do service the King of Price way.
July 9th, 2 to 5 p.m. and July 10th through the 13th, 6 to 8 p.m. at the Statesville Seventh-day Adventist Church at 2429 East Broad Street. Fun for the whole family, including an adult class with a free meal each night. Don't miss the water slide at the registration party. Call 828-851-3355. Call 828-851-3355.
Can't wait to see you there.
Celebrating 75 years. WSIC.
Back with you. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam from the beautiful new studios of WSIC Radio in my hometown, Cornelius, North Carolina. It's such a pleasure to be here. Feel free to call and ask questions if you have anything for the mayor. Happy to do my best to answer, and if I don't have the answer, I will get you an answer for sure. The number to call is 844 STUDIO 4. 844 Studio 4. Call with those questions. I would love to speak with you. Now, let me finish up on our Park and Rec department. We're sort of traveling through our town staff and all the great things that go on with this great group of folks that really run our town on a day-to-day basis. I've got to tell you that we have the best park and rec director, probably in the country, and his name is Troy Fitzsimmons. I hope none of our adjoining towns hear that, because we love Troy, and he does such a good job and is really taking our park department to the next level. I'm so proud of what they're doing. They're thinking out of the box and doing wonderful, wonderful new programming for Parks and Rec, such things as camping out. I'm not sure I'd be brave enough to jump in the middle of that, but they're doing that. Also, the Parks and Rec is helping sponsor some of our wonderful downtown events that have happened. We just had a wonderful Taba Walk this past weekend, this past Saturday, with several thousand people in attendance there. Quite a crowd. It was so hot out there, but it was quite a crowd, but we did avoid the rain, and it was a wonderful event with great bands and great amenities, great merchants selling their goods. Cornelius has established a social district downtown, which basically means you can walk safely up and down the streets and carry your libations. And we do it safely, and we actually have that pretty well under control, and it's working great. So far, over the past months that we've been doing this, we haven't had any infractions of what goes on out there with the social district. So it wraps from the Thiggs Bar all the way down past Kane Center, all the way down to Kane Park, which is just, I guess that would be south of the Kane Center, on the other side of the Kane Center toward the mill. So one event I do want to point out to you as far as our downtown events are concerned, and again, the town is a sponsor of this one as well, is a wonderful Second Friday events. This will be, in effect, a later July 4th celebration. It happens on July the 14th. I'll be out and about. I look forward to it. And I meet so many people there, and it's good, I think, for folks to see their mayor in person and see me and your First Lady, Sharon, out in the throngs of these great crowds that turn up in our downtown area. So Sharon and I are looking very much forward to that, and really hope to be a part of that. Pray for good weather. We're looking forward to that. So that's one of the sponsorships that our Park and Rec takes on, and that's a really, really good thing. Also, I want to talk about our public safety areas, and there's two of those actually. I'll talk about our police department first. It's led by Chief David Balcom and Major Tony Sharp. They are fantastic leaders in our police area. Chief Balcom just took over that position in January after a longtime chief that had spent 30 years in our police department retired, Chief Kevin Black. We miss Kevin, but we love David too. So he's doing a fantastic job for us and had been the number 2 guy in our police department for many years as well. So he knows what he's doing for sure. So proud of what they do. There's nothing more important to our town than public safety. We throw a lot of money at it. It takes a lot of money. Our town must be safe. We have challenges that go on, like opioids and other things in many communities around the state. We aren't immune to that, unfortunately. One of the wonderful parts of our police department is Lake Patrol. And I promise you I'll have our Lake Patrol folks here because we're trying to emphasize lake safety. We are a lake town of about, I would say, probably a lake town of around 74 miles of shoreline. So we've got to do the right thing as it relates to our lake and patrolling that and keeping it safe. I see there's another caller out there, so put him on. Yes, sir, or ma'am. What would be your question?
Good morning, Mr. Mayor. This is William. I just was curious on a few years ago when they put the I-77 toll road project, and I don't know if my information is correct or not, but I think it was farmed out to a foreign company that actually did the construction work.
Yes.
And I was just wondering how much of that revenue that's collected fees goes to your city in the local area, or if any at all?
That is a great question, and the answer is zero. Unfortunately, it's one of my huge problems with the toll roads as they exist right now. They were built by a Spanish company called Cintra, and it's a private company. It's again out of Spain. That's where the company originated. They have a local North American operation as well. But unfortunately, none of that goes to the town of Cornelius or really the state of North Carolina. Cintra is responsible for the upkeep. The DOT doesn't have any expense as it relates to road upkeep or anything like that. But at the same time, I think we could have arranged that a lot better. I was opposed to the toll roads when they happened. I continue to be opposed to them. I wish they were not tolled. We should have had that widening of I-77 years ago, absolutely years ago. But for whatever reasons, money or otherwise, we didn't get it here in North Mecklenburg and South Iredell. So anyway, to answer your question, it is zero coming to the town of Cornelius, unfortunately.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate, Mayor, because I would see where that might help with the upcoming projects for Highway 150 and the Cornelius exit. That's going to have to happen before the 150 and widen project. You have to have a way out, another way, another option. It's kind of like when they build a bridge, they put a temporary bridge beside the new bridge that they're building. And, if you get that revenue coming in that we pay as taxpayers in the toll roads, it would help to keep it local. But given the fact that it was foreigned out, that money is going to them only, and that's just unfortunate.
It really is. It was a bad arrangement. It's a bad contract in any way you look at it. So I can't do anything but agree with you on all that. We've got so many projects that need to come to this particular region. There's many in Cornelius, but you mentioned a couple up in South Iredell that's critical. It's hurting them economically. It's hurting us economically here with our economic development. We can't bring jobs here when we're in gridlock. And you guys in Mooresville with certainly Highway 150 and so forth are certainly in gridlock as we are on many of our streets and roads right here in our town and as is Huntersville as well. So totally agree with your thoughts, and I'm working to make it better. We got to get these projects happening sooner than later, and I'm going to be making some announcements here soon of some ways that I think we can hope to do that. I think that is going to be critical, and we can't just sit around any longer.
You're working with some good people. I know, Mayor, you're working with some good people. I'll mention a couple names: Jeff McNeely,
yes,
and Vicky Sawyer.
Yes,
I think those two people are kind of overseeing that a little bit, and that's my whole thing as a truck driver. I navigate those areas quite a bit, so the gridlock is a problem and has been for a lot of years because of the growth.
Totally agree with you. Vicky Sawyer is my senator down here in Cornelius too, so we love her. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you. We're going to go on a quick break coming up.
Take care.
Thanks.
From Statesville to Huntersville, serving you better than ever before. We're keeping you connected. WSIC News Talk Now.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Lights, camera, Burkdale. At 7:30 this Saturday evening, celebrate Christmas in July at Burkdale by watching The Grinch. It's a 2018 animated version. Bring the whole family out this weekend to Burkdale and Huntersville for movie night. For more info, visit burkdalevillage.com. Does your child enjoy doing arts and crafts? Come create a state symbol at Iredell County Public Library. The Summer Kids Camp will be hosting this program on Monday, July 10th from 10 to 11 a.m. Designed for children ages 6 to 11, bring them out to the Iredell County Public Library on North Trad Street on Monday from 10 to 11 a.m. No registration is required. Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius has released their upcoming fall schedule. Some of the acts include comedian Jeff Allen and the Charlotte Symphony Orchestra. For the full schedule, visit them online at canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. 2023 is the year of the trail. Cornelius is challenging community members to visit all 9 greenways between now and the fall. Each trail has a station where you can check in to verify you have visited each of the trails. Visit all 9 and you will receive a swag bag from the town of Cornelius. To find out more, visit cornelius.org or contact the town of Cornelius's Parks and Rec Department. The Huntersville Growers Market is open each Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. The Huntersville Growers Market is hosted at Veterans Park in downtown Huntersville. Want to be a vendor at the Huntersville Growers Market? Visit huntersville.org. Have an event you'd like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
I'm Holly Vale with your WSIC forecast. We'll have mostly sunny skies. High near 90 degrees. Then mostly cloudy Saturday night with a low around 70. I'm Holly Vale from WSIC's Weather Center.
Fernhill Baptist Church is a traditional fundamental congregation located in Troutman. Hear them Sunday mornings at 8:15 here on WSIC. Listen on demand, WSICFM.com.
Listen to Those Weekend Golf Guys, Sunday afternoon at 4.
Hi, this is Richard with WSIC News. Check us out on social media. Follow, like, and subscribe to our pages on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. We're even on True Social. Just hit that search menu, WSIC News. You'll find us.
Good morning, everybody. Once more, top of the morning to you. This is Cornelius Mayor Woody Washam coming to you from the WSIC Radio, brand new Cornelius Studios. Very proud to be here in this beautiful facility from my hometown. It's absolutely wonderful. Again, if you have questions, I'd be happy to take your questions and give you the best answer I got, or go find it for you and get back to you. That number to dial is 844-STUDIO, STUDIO 4. 844-STUDIO 4. Please dial me up and ask me a question, and we will do the best to address your question and get you an answer. Absolutely. Looking forward to that. I'm talking about some of our town departments, and I was just on our fantastic police department, certified in every way you can be certified here in Cornelius. But let me switch to the other component of our public safety area, which is the Cornelius Limley Fire and Rescue. We're in a transition with town government right now. We're on the way to pulling the Cornelius Fire Department in as a full-fledged department of the town of Cornelius. Long past due. We can't get that done fast enough. The old model used to run the volunteer fire department, if you will, just doesn't work anymore. We've got a very effective fire department, and we're going through a transition to bring them under our town government. And the fire chief will report to our town manager. Again, just like our chief of police reports to the town manager. One interesting component of our town government, which I don't want to fail to say, is that the only employee that the town board and the mayor have working for us is the town manager. Everybody else reports up to the town manager. He reports to us. So if we don't like something going on or need to have a conversation about that, we've got one person to turn to, and that's the town manager, and he's accountable for the operations in the entirety of our town government on a day-to-day basis. Many of us, such as the mayor and our town board, are involved in some ways, but generally the town manager is our only employee, and that's a good way to do it because he's very qualified, very capable, very trained, and got the degrees to back it up, as most of us do not. So we learn through the school of hard knocks, if you will, and he teaches us a lot along the way for sure. So again, the fire department is transitioning in as a town department. We're looking forward to that. We've got about 12 firefighters that are town employees now, and we will transition the rest of the program in over the next few years. The next major thing that will happen is that we will hire a chief during this actual fiscal year we're in right now as of July 1st. So you'll have a new fire chief that will report to the town of Cornelius. So I'm looking forward to that. It is long overdue, and that's kind of where we will head with that. So with that pretty much covers it. I want to definitely talk about some of our administrative help that we have that keep me straight, and we do have two assistant town managers. I'm going to talk about Assistant Manager Tyler Beardsley first of all, because he is over our very, very important Public Works Department. That is a crucial entity that's part of our town government that looks after our streets and our sidewalks and builds projects and manages projects, paves town streets, again I said, puts in sidewalks and all the important things related to public works. One of the other things that's pretty unique about our town is that we own an electric company. It's run by Electricities, but we have an electric company. Actually, there are 3 electric company providers that are active in the town of Cornelius. Electricities is one of them, and it's primarily east of the interstate toward Old Town. It was the original electric company that the town of Cornelius owned that is now run by Electricities. We have Duke Energy that runs a component of our town, and Energy United provides electricity to a component of our town as well. So that makes us pretty unique that we've got 3 electric services providers to the town of Cornelius. But Tyler oversees all of that and makes sure that folks are cared for in the public works arena. There's a lot going on in his area because we're putting in a lot of streets, a lot of local streets. We just opened the wonderful Jim Street connector, which runs from Highway 115 there near Mama's Pizza all the way over to Highway 21 through Nanny Potts Lane. So you can get on this connector, run behind Oak Street Mill, around Smith Circle to Nanny Potts Lane, and get all the way from Highway 115 to Highway 21, which will help you avoid the often high traffic Catawba Avenue, the 2-lane Catawba Avenue, which presents us some challenges from time to time, particularly when there's a wreck on the interstate and folks just pile off the interstate and try to get around all that. I want you to try it. Just go down and turn left and follow it on around. And if you do that, you'll have to make a couple of turns. You will end up on Highway 115 and can go right straight into Antiquity, across Hickory Street there, and it will be a nice connection for you. It's going to be even better one of our transportation projects is putting in a stoplight at the Hickory Street interchange with Highway 115. It's badly, badly needed. That's an unsafe intersection that feeds into Mount Zion Church, Autumn Care, and also the entirety of Antiquity. We need that stoplight there to give folks an alternative to get in and out of that particular area on Zion Street. One of the exciting local road projects that I'm certainly promoting right now is the Zion Street connector as well. Zion Street can be extended, we think, all the way down to Bailey Road, which will give the wonderful folks that live out in Bailey's Glen off of Bailey Road with some of the housing development that's occurred there another parallel way to get into downtown and not have to get on Highway 115. So those kind of connections will be ideal, I think, for our community, and I think they'll continue to make a difference. But as you know, I say this about every week or every other week to our town board, this stuff isn't free. So we got to figure out a way to pay for it. And we'll be studying that here in the weeks ahead. And I think we'll come up with some answers to make this stuff happen sooner than later. It's got to happen sooner than later. We can't wait around to solve our transportation projects any longer. So I'm excited about that. So stand by. You'll be hearing more about that in the next couple of weeks. So very, very happy for that and look forward to a great setting in Cornelius as it relates to transportation, certainly. So I do want to talk about our deputy town manager, which is one of our wonderful employees. I just mentioned one assistant manager who's Tyler Beardsley over Public Works, and I do want to tell you about Wayne Herron, who is our deputy town manager and reports to the town manager. He has a fabulous background and great relationships with the transportation department and NCDOT, and has done wonders for our town in moving our transportation projects forward. We do have a lot of work to do in transportation, and we got the right guy in the right place to help us through that with Wayne Herron. So I've learned so much from him, and I'm so excited of what we can pull off in the future as it relates to his contribution to particularly the transportation piece of it, but also some of the other wonderful things going on in our town, such as affordable housing, the relationship with the Smithfield Community Coalition. We'll have them on very soon talking about the great things that are going on to redefine and redevelop the Smithfield community. It's a wonderful, historic African-American community in our town, and the result of a lot of hard work by so many people is going to impress you once we get through this. It's a tough project, but it is making it is moving forward, as is our affordable housing efforts beyond Smithfield and throughout the town of Cornelius. It's so critical that we understand that people that work here need to be able to live here, and they simply can't afford it right now, and that is bothersome to our town. It hurts our economy, and we need to provide them the opportunity to live in the town that they want to work in. So more to come as we talk about the newly established affordable housing programs, and also our Community Development Corporation and their wonderful executive director, Michelle Hoverson, which is doing great things for affordable housing, workforce housing in our community. We want our policemen, our firemen, our town employees, our retail workers, those that currently can't all afford to live here, to be able to live here. So that work is ongoing. I'm committed to it. And hopefully in my next term, we'll see a lot of that coming to pass. So very excited. It's been a great day here in the town of Cornelius. I'm delighted to be your mayor. Again, Mayor Woody Washam, Mayor of Cornelius, with you from WSIC Radio, Cornelius new studios here. So congratulations, guys. Look forward to more.
The new 100.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North Charlotte.